You came today, and we hope today is going to be a really, really awesome day. We reconvened after last year. We read everybody's comments from our survey and took everybody's comments very seriously and have made some changes this year, so we hope that you are very happy. And we hope that you will make more comments this year. Did we even do a survey?
Yeah, we got it. Okay.
We got it. Good.
We're solid.
Okay, good.
It's totally planned.
All right, so we have some housekeeping steps to take care of this morning before you get started on your sessions. First of all, if you notice, session times are posted near the registration table. You saw we had several tracks this year. I'm going to explain them very quickly to you. The first track is education. Luke and Jeff just came to us and said it would be awesome if we could do a specific track for educators. And we thought, you're right, that'd be pretty awesome. So this year we have a special track for educators. How many in this room are educators? Wow. That is like so fabulous. That's great. So I think you'll really enjoy the list of speakers that we have put together for you today. However, you are not stuck in that one track. You are welcome to move around. Whether you're an educator or not, you can attend sessions in that track. Level 1, it's my first camp out. That sounded a lot nicer than beginner. Level 2, I know what a s'more is. That's kind of an intermediate level. Level 3 is, dude, I don't even need a tent. That's advanced. And then we also have in the room next door a toolkit session, which are one-on-one sessions with the Google team. And they'll also be in there from time to time, periodically once she gets here in the afternoon, constant contact. So if you have questions specific to email marketing, or if you have questions specific to Google Places, Google Docs, or Google websites, or anything else related to Google, there are teams in there who will sit down with you and walk you through whatever you need to know. And we are very excited about that particular session. You can follow a track. You can jump from track to track. You can do whatever you want. If you don't like what you're sitting in, you can feel free to get up and walk out. I don't think any of our speakers will be insulted. Okay, maybe I'll be a little insulted. No, not really.
This sucks.
Okay, yeah, don't do that. Just get up and walk out quietly, please.
In our conferences, we call that the law of 2 feet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
If there's another session that meets your needs better, get up and move.
Yeah, do it, please.
Or what the hashtag is about, you'll get to the hashtag.
Yeah.
Yes, that's really important. We want you to get the most value for all of your $25.
That's why it's very formal. We planned it a lot.
Yeah. All right. What else? That's it. If you want to have a one-on-one session with somebody else other than Google or Constant Contact, you know what? Another camper or one of the counselors, feel free to just do it. There's sections outside in the front of the hotel if you noticed. Grab one of us or grab another counselor. Okay, that doesn't sound right. And go have a one-on-one.
She's gone into delirium.
Yes, she's got the giggles. It's Molly's next.
It's Molly's turn.
Oh, my.
I didn't get enough sleep last night.
Okay. How can I hold coffee and not?
You don't multitask well either.
I've got it. I'm good. Okay. So, if you are coming to present, and we do have a few more slots still open. If you want to present something, if you're like, man, I am awesome, and I know some stuff that I don't think other people do, we would love to have you present. I think there are a couple more slots left. You don't even have to be awesome. You just have to be okay. Please.
Another thing to remember is you may not really be ready to jump up and present, but you may have a burning question that you think many other people in addition to you would have. Put that up there and write down that you need a speaker so that other people can jump in and help you answer those questions.
Yeah, there's kind of some fancy people in this room who might be able to answer your question. So if you're like hunk of burning question, do that. The hotel is Wi-Fi. I think it was having a little bit of issue earlier. Lodge Tech, I think is the name of the thing.
LodgeNet.
LodgeNet.
You didn't know we were a comedy team, did you?
LodgeNet, who's on first. And there's a connect button at the top. Here's the dilemma. Because so many people were logging in at the same time, it kept kicking people off. That's why the engineer was in here. You saw him? Yeah. He's fixing that. So just keep trying. So what we want you to do really, and on that card that we gave you at registration, there's Twitter handles, there's the hashtag, right? Hashtag ActionCampSA, tweet, Facebook, go Google+. We want you to listen, but we want you to engage. The reason that we have that hashtag is if I'm sitting in one session and I want to see what's happening in another, that's the best way for me to do it is I can log into check out ActionSA hashtag and see what everybody else is learning as well. So please engage as much as possible. So apparently last year you asked for it, and this year we listened. They also brought me into the planning team, and I said, happy hour. So we are doing that. From 4 to 6, there's a bar right out here. We're not giving you anything, but you can show up and we can hang out and get drunk together. What? Okay. We're not really going to get drunk. So early. I'm a morning person. By 4 o'clock, I'm ready for a nap. That's what's bad. So I'll be sleeping for happy hour. We're here, just so you know, there's multiple people that are here to help you. Ashton, Melanie, wave over there. If you have questions, if you're like, I don't know what's going on, this feels weird, nobody's told me what to do, that's the best part of an unconference, right? Is that there really is, the first rule is that there are no rules, right? Move to a session that you like, don't go to that session. You want to hang out and just chat with somebody else because you heard something awesome, do that. That's the best part of this, is it's very, very sort of fluid and organic, which sounds really fancy. Thank you.
Oh, and let me just mention one other thing.
Do you want to mention what a hashtag is?
Is everyone comfortable with what is everyone comfortable with what a hashtag is? So raise your hand if you're not comfortable with that so I can talk about it.
Thank you.
That's
yes,
totally cool.
Thank you for raising your hand. Let's have a round of applause.
Okay. So for those of us on Twitter primarily, we use hashtags to follow conversations.
The number sign.
The pound sign and then ActionSA is what you can follow. And for those who are not yet on Twitter, you can still follow the conversation by going to twitter.com and searching the hashtag. And you can see all of those tweets come up.
Who's going to do the session on tweet chat?
Oh, great. Then you can
If you're not sure what a hashtag is, it would be good to go to her session because she's going to show you how to follow a hashtag on tweet chat, I believe. And it's like a file folder for all of the tweets related to this conference.
Exactly.
Kind of like collaborative note-taking, too. So, you know.
So share your own tweets, retweet others, follow what's going on there. It'll kind of help you keep up with what's happening across the entire unconference. I'm supposed to talk about where are the rooms and what's happening in them, and actually I'm not really very well versed with the rooms, so I'm going to pass that over to you.
I was going to say, all of these are the rooms right here, right along this wall, but if you go to where the tile starts, that's where the San Jose room is.
And
so,
San Juan.
and the San
San
Juan,
Juan,
goes around
the
corner
San
as
Juan
well.
rooms
Yeah.
So
and the
where the tile
restrooms.
starts, that's where the bathrooms are, that's where a couple of other rooms are, so if you're looking for them, it's all just in this area.
And if you noticed when you were looking at the list of sessions, at the very top of the page, it said which room each of the sessions were in. So for example, this is the Alamo room, and this is where our keynote will be in the afternoon. Next door in Espada is where Google is going to be. And then, I don't remember.
Concepcion's next.
Concepcion is education. And then
I think around the corner is San Juan and San Jose.
and so you can look at and that would be levels 1 and 3.
I missed the piece about no pitch.
Action Camp is, you want to say that? Okay. Action Camp is a no pitch zone for all of our speakers. That means that if you are going to give a presentation, we do just ask that you don't stand up and pitch product.
Or service, yeah.
Or service.
And happy hour is taking place in the bar. It was right as you walked in when you turned to come down here. I know, it's important. Don't miss that. That's important. Sometimes that's where the best conversations happen. And just as an aside, that's where the idea of a camp came from. I don't know if everyone's familiar with the bar camp story. These types of unconferences were born at the bar. Primarily at tech conferences, the developers and programmers found out that they would go to a conference, they'd learn a few things, but the really interesting conversations took place in the bar at the end of the day. A couple of really interesting people said, let's throw this thing together called a bar camp. Let's make it with no rules. Let's let anybody speak who wants to share, because those are the guys who have the information, the guys in the trenches who are sharing the stuff. So that's why we wanted to have this happy hour and really kind of keep it going after the conference.
That sounds good.
It works. And then the lunch with the keynote, Kelly Cheeseman from Walmart will be in this room. So we'll reconvene here at noon, have a nice lunch, listen to Kelly talk about Walmart and private-public partnerships. And we're going to be doing some door prize drawings throughout the day at the public areas. So this morning, right, we're going to do one?
This morning.
Something at lunch, and then at the end of the day. So please stay as long as you can to...
And if you have not yet dropped your business card in the
Good point.
fancy blue
Paper bag.
receptacle, please do that so that you'll get a chance at those.
Okay, Molly, you're back to you.
Oh, yeah. So we have some people that we want to thank, and he will be here a little bit later, but the San Antonio Nonprofit Council came on board this year. Literally, I think the best part of this is that we're all just peeps who do other jobs and then do this too on the side. So Action Camp and Action San Antonio are not entities, they're things, they're organic thingies. So we thought, oh, we need somebody who's like an actual organization. And Scott McIninch, the executive director of the San Antonio Nonprofit Council, stepped in and said, I would love to help y'all put this on in whatever capacity I can. So this year we got an opportunity to partner with a nonprofit organization to provide this to nonprofits, which is cool. So he'll be here a little bit later and tell you what San Antonio Nonprofit Council is.
And of course, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for our generous sponsors, so we want to be sure to thank them. We have Rackspace, who's obviously a big supporter of everything in San Antonio. We're very fortunate to have them in our town. SeaWorld, and Brian Carter is here, and in just a moment he's going to get up and speak for a few minutes on their commitment to nonprofits and the work that we're doing and everything that's going on in town. Time Warner Cable is another local sponsor. Constant Contact, and Julie Niehoff will be here this afternoon doing a talk about using email marketing. Courtyard Marriott, where we are today, we were not charged for the use of the space, which is pretty remarkable considering this is a conference town. So they are a very generous donor and supporter, and as you can see, it's a beautiful facility. So you can find them on Twitter at CourtyardSW.
And if I just real quick, I'm going to borrow yours, Neil. Sure. Even though you should
Oh, there you go.
On the back of your card is all of these sponsors. Oh, sorry, I forgot, Mike. All of the sponsors with their Twitter hashtags, so you can tweet them, and also your speakers are on there as well, like the ones that came in prior to today.
Thank you. We would also like to thank Security Service Federal Credit Union and Think Causality. We would also like to thank Fran's company, Step In Communication. And again, Fran Stevenson is one of the co-organizers, and she'll be here this morning about 10:30. Beacon SEO, which is a new search engine optimization company here in San Antonio, they gave a donation. And Augie Ray, who works at USAA, he is in charge of the community and corporate efforts there regarding social media. He gave a generous personal donation, so we want to thank him as well.
Can we give a round of applause to all of our sponsors? Because without them...
No, Brian's going to give it.
Without them, it would have been a lot more than $25. All right, Brian?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I have to follow this energy that this group has up here. It's very hard, but I'll try my best. My name is Brian Carter. I am the Director of Communications over at SeaWorld San Antonio. I've been in town now for about a year and a half, so I'm new to Texas, new to San Antonio, came from Memphis, where I was in charge of communications and other things assigned at a nonprofit at a zoo, so that was a lot of fun, but it helped prepare me for the world of communications inside of a for-profit and one that has a mission that was very similar to ours back at the zoo. And our mission at SeaWorld is to connect people through the power of entertainment to care and to understand our natural world. So social media plays into that perfectly, and that's one of my responsibilities at the park is to be in charge of social media. I also am in charge of public relations and community relations. So this morning I get to wear a lot of hats like I do at the park. I'm, with our partnership that we have with Action Camp, and that's part of our community relations, and I get to pour into you guys and get to be fed from you all too for social media, and this being a part of this is a big deal for us. In fact, Dan, our park president, a huge believer in social media. He really helped to pioneer social media inside of our company, who was very resistant to social media at the corporate level. He really was a trailblazer within our company. He'll be speaking today, I believe at 11 o'clock. Yeah, he's speaking at 11 o'clock on getting the boss's buy-in on social media, which is pretty important. I think if you've started social media at a company before, you understand what that means. If you're struggling through that now, you're going to really appreciate Dan's talk a little later. And then I'm going to be giving a session at 10 o'clock on really building a successful social media campaign. So these are really a kind of a holistic campaign to look at a campaign across different social media channels and how you weave those messages together and really how those channels are appropriate for specific messages, specific campaigns. That, not the Facebook page isn't the answer to everything, right? The Twitter account isn't the answer for everything. Those channels have an appropriate audience, an appropriate time and place to use them. So that's something that we'll be doing today. And then, we're a part of this. We're sponsors because, really for a couple of reasons. One, we want to be a part of this community. We want to be a part of the social media community, and this allows us the chance to do that. But you all have so much to offer to us, too, in the for-profit world. The nonprofit world, I came from that. I spent 7 years there, and there's an aggressiveness and appetite that just finds creativity and ingenuity in nonprofits, because your budgets, the budgets in nonprofit, they're just not usually as large as they are in for-profits. So you have to really struggle. You have to make do and kind of use the duct tape approach and find ways to do things that the for-profits are doing and being as effective as them. Because we're playing in the same space. We're both playing on the same channels, and we're talking to similar audiences, so you have to be there. So we get as much out of this as we give into it. So we're excited just to be around you all, too. I know Dan is really pumped about being here this morning. And then just we have a corporate responsibility, too, to the community. So by our partnership here with Action Camp, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community, the same community that supports us by coming to the park and visiting our animals and seeing our shows and that sort of thing. So that's all I had. Do you have any other thing for me to? Good. Thanks for having me. Yeah, our pleasure.
Thanks, Brian.
We failed to mention a couple of people to thank, too. Go ahead.
We did?
Just,
Can I ask?
yes.
You've got an empty seat next to you. Could you
Oh, yeah, thank you.
We're getting a little full.
Oh, yeah. So if you don't have a seat at a table, you can come up and sit next to somebody who's got a hand raised. Keep your hands up, please, because we have some folks who don't have a place to sit.
Put your hands up.
Okay. So before we move on to our, we're going to go ahead and move on to our sticky notes. If you see in the center of your table some sticky notes, I'm going to let Molly tell you what to do with them.
Yeah, real quick before we go any further, I just want to say thank you to a couple of volunteers that showed up, to help us at the registration table. You met them when you got here. Mindy Wallen and Karen Kimball are both from the San Antonio River Foundation, and they have generously donated their time to be the registration volunteers. And then Kelly Morris PR, her name is actually Kelly Morris, but I just tack on the PR, it's fun. They're out there too. So if you see them, you saw them already, but if you see them again, go like, y'all are great, we love you. Okay. And then of course you've got Ashton and Melanie, which we told you about earlier, that they're go-to girls, they're Masakos. Okay, so there's sticky notes on your table, right? Some of them are blue, some of them are pink. I'm gonna hold it up right now. These right here, sticky notes, okay? What we would like for you to do is, there are pens on your table. Is there a particular question that you might have about social media that you want answered today? How do I raise $1 million via Facebook? We will totally help you with that. SeaWorld? No? Okay.
Walmart's coming.
Walmart? No, if you have a burning question, like, man, this is something that I want to know today about social media that I didn't know coming in, we are hopeful that you will find a session that will answer that question for you. But here's what we would like for you to do. Write your question on the sticky note and stick it on the wall in this room, anywhere on the wall. If your question gets answered today, prior to the end of the day, take your question down. If it does not get answered, at the end of the day, we are going to crowdsource that question. Here's the other thing. Please put your if you've got a Twitter handle, put it on there. So maybe there's somebody that sees your question and goes, I totally know the answer to that, and let me just tweet you the answer, right? So we're trying to make this as much of a learning experience. We want you to leave here going, I came in going, I have no idea what that means, and I left here knowing what it meant. So if you would be as specific or not specific, we always appreciate questions like, what is Facebook? Done. We totally have it for you. I'm just kidding. There's a ton of things that we can answer for you. So seriously, if you've something within your organization or within your classroom that you're like, I really need the answer to this and I don't know how to answer it, write the question, give us your Twitter handle, stick it up on the wall. If it gets answered, take it down. So at the end of the day, we can see how many questions have gone unanswered or how many questions have gone answered.
And we need it constrained by the topic either. I mean, it can be more than social. It can be more than just social media. I mean, if you're looking at learning technologies, if you're looking at networking, if you're looking at other aspects, anything that might be of interest to this crowd. And part of this is not just to find answers, but also to connect with other people who have the same question, right?
And we need a really good visual. We want to get a picture of all the cute little sticky notes on the wall. That was it.
That's all.
That's all. If you notice on your schedules, after the last session, which starts at 2:30, I think, we will reconvene in this room for a campfire chat. Is that what you called it?
Yes, campfire.
For a campfire chat. And that's the point that we'll crowdsource any questions, we'll meet, we'll talk, we'll visit before we break for happy hour.
And you'll also know, how many times can we mention happy hour at 9:30 in the morning? Somebody's a drinker. So there's 4 sessions. You'll notice that some of these are already filled in, but there's 4 slots here that have nothing on them. What we did was create this card for you so that you could go to the large Post-it notes outside, find the session that you like the most, write down the room number that it's in, so you can keep this with you and not have to like keep going back to the cards and going, where am I going? That's right. So you can use this as sort of like your itinerary for camp.
Does anybody have any questions? You're a really quiet crowd.
We were very clear.
Oh, that was good. You get extra points. We worked really hard.
We should do a drawing.
We should do a drawing.
The blue bag's right there.
Where's the blue bag? Wait. Should we draw for some SeaWorld tickets?
Wow.
I thought so.
I didn't feel like hard.
Okay, just so you know.
Counselors and their immediate family are not eligible.
Darn. Brian says this is good for 2 SeaWorld tickets.
It's just his business card?
Wow. I want a business card like
Okay.
that, man.
Neil with the fancy accent is going to draw. Neil, who claims he's from the UK, with the fancy accent. All right. And the winner is Jeanette Ross. Woo! Okay, Jeanette, you're sitting at the same table, so make sure you get his phone number right.
Oh my God.
I have another. Wait.
Oh, we got another one to go?
Wait,
Wow.
but let's get the extra cards. We forgot people have come in. Who hasn't put their cards in? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Who put the cards in?
And we have entertainment too. Is there anybody else who hasn't put their card in yet? Raise your hand. No stacking the deck. I see some eyes swirling around thinking, I'm going to just raise my hand and put in another card. Okay, hands up if you haven't put in a card yet. How are we doing on time?
We're good. It's only 9:30.
Since we got some more people back here by the door, could you do me a favor once again? If you've got an empty seat beside you, please raise your hand.
Coffee break. Bathroom mate.
I love Luke. If you got an empty space beside you, please make your way. I love him. He's like a carnival guy.
Let me see that for one second. Of course, this isn't a microphone. It's just for the live stream.
It's just for live stream.
Okay.
Those hands up where the empty seats are.
Every time he says it, I go, put your hands up.
How many of you have colleagues who were unable to be here today, but who are interested in the information that's being shared? Okay. back here, and what's the name of the company? I always forget.
LCTV.
LCTV, as we mentioned, is live streaming in the back of the room. So we've shared on Twitter a link that you can send to your colleagues back at the office so that they can follow along in this room for all of the sessions that are taking place here today. If you want
sessions in this room.
Only in this room, yes. So you can feel free to share that with them. The way to find it is, I tweeted it and Melanie tweeted it. If you go to @ColleenPence, you'll find the link, and you can just retweet that and forward it on to the friends at work who are missing out today.
Another piece, in case your colleagues, weren't able to make it today, but maybe would be interested, this right here is sort of the culmination Action Camp, right? But Action San Antonio, which is the mothership of Action Camp, whatever, it's fine. That's
non-entity
the non-entity mothership actually puts on quarterly breakfasts on social media techniques, and they're free to nonprofits and educators, and you can come, and those happen quarterly. The next one's going to happen in February, and then whatever quarterly, break that out for us, because that's how it rolls. But if you're on this e-blast, then you've probably already gotten in, and we'll start to send out information on that too.
And it'll be on the blog as well.
Anyway, you can keep track on actionsanantonio.org.
Yeah. Because
It's getting a.
Are you having
it's
trouble?
Yeah, I'm having a little.
is it still spotty?
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
find
having a little trouble.
All right, so we're going to go out, and I'm going to talk to the engineer.
We're going to go grab the engineer and yell at him again. We will grab him
I'm going to engage.
by his little peace sign. Yes.
All right.
Okay. So now we're going to give out.
Last
Here, I
chance.
got it.
Anybody have another business card? This is a gift card from Walmart for $100. And I have, by the way, in case you were thinking of bugging out earlier, I have 2 more of these, one to give out at lunch and one to give out at our campfire chat.
The lovely business card. Deborah Cowan, yes?
There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, we're going to take a few minutes, think about the questions that are burning inside you about this stuff. And fill out your little sticky note, and then let's get them all put up on the thingy, bobber jig.
The wall.
The wall.
It's
thank
called a
you.
wall.
A wall. Put it up on the wall. Don't forget to put your Twitter handle if you've got one. If you don't, just put your name and know that we're going to be following it on ActionSA. So at least we can say, hey, we're talking to you and ActionSA. All right?
And I want to see lots of sticky notes up on that wall. And I believe John is in the room.
Do we have any other?
John is in the room. Yes.
Yes, John is in the room.
Yes, what are you
I
trying
was
to
just
say?
gonna say that we could start getting, once they put their sticky notes out, they can start moving
Start
out
moving
to
on to
whatever
their
they're-
rooms.
Yeah. Once you get your sticky notes up, you may mingle, you may have a bite to eat, you may go look at the walls of speakers, you may add your name if there is still a slot left for a speaker, and you may kind of go talk to Google if you have questions, and you may start to head to your respective. The first session starts at 10 o'clock. John is in the room. I think Darren wanted to do a sound check with you.
Yes, ma'am.
No? He's saying no. He's good. Questions?
No. What? We don't have a computer.
Unless they're in this room. You mean like for a presentation?
No, like for average, just an average.